2018 Chevrolet Traverse High Country AWD. When General Motors killed its minivans and launched a range of three-row crossovers on a then-new Lambda platform about a decade ago, it seemed a risky move. But it paid off. Fast forward to now, and Americans have bought more than 2 million of those Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick, and, yes, Saturn, people haulers. Now GM's second-generation three-row transporters are here, and they've got a much tougher playing field of family SUVs to go up against. The first of these renewed efforts was the GMC Acadia, which shrank considerably compared with its predecessor. In a recent comparison test, it placed mid-pack behind the Mazda CX-9 and the Volkswagen Atlas. So maybe it's a good thing that the Acadia's corporate cousin, the new 2018 Chevrolet Traverse, is taking a different approach. Bigger is better. For starters, it has done the opposite of shrink, with a wheelbase that's a full 2 inches longer than that of the old Traverse and incremental upticks in length, width, and height. The Traverse is a size XL to the Acadia's L. It's the biggest crossover in a big class, and its size pays dividends inside. Even with the third-row seat raised, there's a generous 23 cubic feet of cargo space in back, enough to accommodate 6 carry-on suitcases in our testing, 2 more than the similarly gargantuan Atlas. We can't quite proclaim the Traverse's third row to be as accommodating as the Volkswagen's, though, because Chevrolet has insisted on wedging a third seating position in there. Stuffing the Chevy full of 7 passengers forces one unlucky occupant to inhabit the uncomfortable third-row middle seat, whereas the Volkswagen's 3-seat second row and 2-seat third row apportion the available space better. For those who place carpooling for sports teams at the top of their priority lists, the Traverse's ace up its sleeve is the available 8-seat configuration that swaps out our test car's second-row captain's chairs for a 3-seat bench. Unfortunately, it's available only on lower trim levels with cloth seats and less equipment. Speaking of equipment, our top-trim Traverse High Country test car had it all, as it ought to, considering its steep asking price of $52,995. Like GMC's Denali trim level, the High Country is aimed at raising transaction prices and profit margins and comes fully loaded with flashy exterior bits including 20-inch wheels and plenty of chrome trim, interior upgrades such as a panoramic sunroof and a power folding third-row seat, and a full complement of active safety features. Its nicely laid out interior mostly impressed with its simple controls and attractive-looking finishes, even if the feel of materials doesn't quite justify the hefty price tag. We were also disappointed to find a few areas where GM cut costs. The shades for the dual sunroofs, for instance, are manual rather than power-operated, and the flipping and folding second-row seat that eases access to the third row is included only on the passenger side captain's chair. Dynamically competent. The High Country is the only version of the Traverse that comes standard with all-wheel drive, which is a $2,000 to $3,800 option otherwise. Compared with lesser AWD Traverses, the High Country system boasts a more advanced rear axle drive unit with 2 clutches that independently control torque to each wheel. The setup is shared with the Acadia All-Terrain and the Cadillac XT5. So, in theory, it's better at, traversing High Country. We figured that off-roading this Chevrolet people hauler would be about as pointless as putting a child's seat in a Corvette. But we did test it on road, where it proved to be a capable performer in nearly every metric. The standard 3.6-liter V6 engine with 310 horses provides strong and linear power through a smooth shifting 9-speed automatic, propelling the Traverse to 60 miles per hour in a competitive 6.5 seconds. A composed and firmly tuned chassis, good for a solid 0.83 grams of grip on the skid pad, gives the Chevy a planted feel, while its brakes are confidence-inspiring and stopped the hefty, 4,680-pound crossover from 70 miles per hour in a relatively tidy 176 feet. Its ability to balance comfort and quiet with responsiveness nicely splits the difference, dynamically, between the even more agile Mazda and the slightly softer and plusher Volkswagen. Looking good. Beyond being a roomier, more refined, more efficient, and better performing bus than before, the Traverse also looks significantly less like a bus. Its handsomely squared-off styling is surely more appealing than that of the old bulbous Traverse, which perhaps took its minivan surrogate status a bit too seriously. You might even mistake it for a Tahoe or a Suburban, given its size, which is not a bad thing. The new version's more truckish design probably would have been enough to ensure the second-gen Traverse's sales success. That the new Traverse is significantly improved in so many other ways puts it near the top of its contentious segment. We'd certainly wager that GM will have no trouble selling many more copies in the years to come.